Welcome everyone. I recently watched Kim's Side Money Plan's recent video. And what is she talking about? DoorDash is bringing greetings to every Dasher out there. Happy holidays to every Dasher. And your gifts are going to be deactivation. There you go. But who is out there to save us from this mess? There's nobody out there to save us from these corrupt corporations and companies. Or maybe there is somebody. Well, that was a little clip I put together for you guys' amusement. But in the end, you guys are your own saviors. That's all that is. Now, what did Kim's Side Money Plan have to say? She's seeing that there's a lot of mass deactivations. And she's talking about that DoorDash is being even more strict with their rating system. Anything new there? How much more strict can they get? But how strict do they get when anybody can sign on with no papers, illegal accounts, no driver's license, no registration? But they're not strict with that, but they're strict with their rating system. And particularly with the completion rate and the on-time rating. And they're going to be even more strict with the completion rate if it's under 90%. They'll be so fast to jump the bandwagon to give you a deactivation. And now, even with the on-time rating. But as you notice, you can go in the app, on the DoorDash app, and click on ratings. And if you click on completion rate, they tell you about you are up for deactivation if you're under 90%. I mean, at least that is there. But when it comes to the on-time rating, they don't give you a percentage, or they don't say anything about deactivation, but people can get deactivated with the on-time rating as well. That's what Kim's Side Money Plans is talking about. And DoorDash doesn't give anybody a clue what that rating is with the on-time. And how strict they are? They'll mark me as a late delivery 3 minutes. If you guys want proof, here's the proof. As you can see, it's from Wingstop. Wingstop being one of the most busiest restaurants in the whole town. Even busier than Little Caesars. It's a blessing to have only 3 and 5 minutes late on deliveries on Wingstop. That's a blessing. But how is it possible a 3-minute of a store that's very, very busy, they're going to mark you down as a late delivery because of 3 minutes? But as you notice in the screenshot, I was 1 minute early to the customer delivery drop-off time. And I always, when I go to Wingstop, I always put that this delivery is going to be waiting for too long. Order hasn't started yet. Store is busy. And they still ding you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, guys, 3 minutes. They have no clue about the business that they're running. They're not in touch with reality, where the restaurants make the they make the decisions and they do whatever they want. That's how that works. You think the restaurants care about what the DoorDash app is saying for on-time arrival or on-time pickup? or when the food is going to be ready? You think any restaurant out there gives a damn about that? You think their lives and their schedules is based on the DoorDash definition of what time the food is going to be ready to be picked up? Is that how they run in their business? No. They're running it the way they want because they own the place. They get to do whatever they want. But here we go once again. The delivery drivers are the big bad wolf once again. They'll ding you. And even though every time I go to Wingstop, I mark it down as this order hasn't started yet, or the order is still being made, the store is very busy, constantly, every time I go there. It's a busy store. And they say that they put into consideration of traffic, of restaurant being busy, and blah, 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 and all those shenanigans. Smoke and mirrors. No, they don't. No, they don't. They ding me for 3 minutes, which is a blessing. Because usually the lateness on Wingstop can be 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They're that busy. And I'm not seeing any Little Caesars because I stopped picking them up for that reason. They're always late. Guaranteed. And they see the pattern. If they take all the delivery times that you did for the past orders, okay, they have that data. They can do that. But they're lazy as fuck. They can look at every delivery driver's rating when it comes to on-time percentage or on-time delivery rate with picking up the orders. They can see that. Because you can see that as well. You can go into the DoorDash app and go to your ratings and then go to the on-time rating, click on it, and there's another button that says show all deliveries. You can click on that and you get to see a lot of deliveries that you did for the past 3 or 4 days, and we'll show you which ones were on time or early, or which one they marked you as late. So when they gather all that data, and they see that Wingstop with a lot of drivers is popping up a lot, that should be a flag right there that Wingstop is very busy, and more often the deliveries are going to be late from this particular restaurant compared to another one. They can do that data analysis if they want to. I mean, it's right there. But they still want to push the deactivation bullshit on you. The other thing is that my on-time rating, with a lot of drivers' on-time rating, it hasn't changed for the past, let's say, 5 years. It's stuck at 92%. Other drivers say that their on-time rating is stuck at 91% for years. Other people have it at 95%, stuck. Has never gone up, has never gone down. So there is a differences in the percentages between drivers, but it has stayed the same for ages. Why is that? I'm just saying. So now they want to mass deactivate everybody, and they're more strict with that. Okay? But they're not strict on other things that they do illegal with the company. That's why they get lawsuits left and right. That's why they're on the news constantly. But they want to be strict with this. With nonsense. With nonsense. You know what DoorDash reminds me of? That spoiled, entitled, rotten, little fruitcake of a spoiled child. That's what they remind me of. That needs a spanking constantly. They constantly need a damn spanking. And that's what DoorDash reminds me of. They're like little kids in the playground playing with the marbles. That's why the business is running amok. Why we call DoorDash a bodega. That's how they operate. You think that you can take these people seriously? The way they conduct business? No. And another thing that Kim Side Money Plans is saying in the video, they're saying why they're more strict with deactivations now with the rating systems is because mass oversaturation and less amount of offers or orders are going around in the markets right now. Who's at fault for that? The drivers? Who oversaturated the markets? When a market needs, a particular area needs 100 drivers, they'll say, oh, let's put 1,000 drivers on the field. Who's responsible for that? Who's to blame for that? The drivers? They were hoping they were going to get millions and millions of offers per hour in each location. They overflooded and oversaturated the markets. And now they're not seeing that many orders. And there's so many freaking drivers out there. Now they want to thin out the herd. Now they're going to start with deactivations. Something that they created. So, the mistakes that they made, they're going to put it on the drivers by deactivating drivers. For shenanigan reasons. For BS reasons. There you go. Enough said, and enough of this video. You guys are out there, holiday season, you let me know what you're seeing. You don't need me to tell you. Enough said. Catch you guys later.